You are not lonely because the world has abandoned you. You are lonely because you have abandoned yourself. Pause. Let that sink in. You're not here by accident, staring into the void of your own thoughts, wondering why the weight in your chest feels heavier than the world on your shoulders. Loneliness isn't just a feeling. It's a signal, a relentless whisper from your soul telling you something is misaligned. Most men ignore it. They drown it in noise, numb it with vices, or bury it under the lie that they're fine. But you're not fine. And deep down, you know it. As you watch, I'll appreciate it if you could spare a second to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell to get notified when we share our next video. Also tell us the city you're watching from and what time it is over there. The truth is brutal but simple. You've built a prison with walls of your own making. Not with iron or stone, but with the quiet compromises you've let pile up. The moments you chose comfort over courage, distraction over purpose, illusion over reality. You've traded the fire of your own potential for the fleeting warmth of safety. And now, here you are, standing in the ashes of a life you never meant to live, wondering how it came to this. Ask yourself, when was the last time you faced yourself without flinching? Not the mask you wear for others, not the story you tell to get by, but the raw, unfiltered truth of who you are? Most men run from that mirror. They fear what it shows, not weakness, but the strength they've refused to claim. Loneliness isn't the absence of people. It's the absence of purpose, the absence of a fight worth waging, the absence of a self worth knowing. You're not tired. You're drained by carrying a version of yourself that no longer fits. You've been hauling the expectations of others, the regrets of yesterday, the anxieties of tomorrow, and you wonder why your steps feel heavy. The Stoics knew this truth centuries ago. You cannot control the world, but you can control the fortress of your mind. Yet you've left the gates unguarded, letting invaders, doubt, fear, distraction, slip through unchallenged. Here's the paradox. The man who feels alone is often the man who's forgotten how to stand alone. Solitude is not your enemy. It's your training ground. Loneliness, though, that's what happens when you mistake the quiet for punishment instead of power. The world will not save you. No one is coming to pull you from the shadows. But you can. You must. The question isn't whether you're strong enough. It's whether you're willing to stop hiding from your own strength. This is your shock of recognition. You are not a victim of your loneliness. You are its architect. And if you built it, you can tear it down. The path out isn't found in chasing approval, numbing pain, or escaping silence. It's forged by facing the truth, embracing the discomfort, and rebuilding yourself brick by brick. You are not your past mistakes. You are not your fleeting fears. You are the master of your soul, if you choose to be. Will you keep scrolling, letting this moment slip back into the noise? Or will you stop, look within, and begin the work of becoming the man you were meant to be? The choice is yours. But know this, every fortress begins with a single stone. Lay it now. To let us know if truly this video inspires and teaches you, drop an emoji in the comments section to show how much you relate. You think you're free. You move through your days, make your choices, chase your desires. But there's a trap you don't see. It's not a cage of steel or a chain around your wrists. It's a prison woven from your own habits, your own beliefs, your own quiet surrenders. Loneliness isn't just a feeling. It's a machine, grinding away at your soul, fueled by the mistakes you don't even know you're making. It's invisible, insidious, and it thrives because you feed it, mistaking its hunger for comfort. Let me show you how it works. Let me hold up the mirror. The trap begins with mistake 1, seeking external validation star. You look to others, their likes, their praise, their nods of approval, to tell you who you are. You post, you perform, you bend yourself to fit their gaze. But every time you do, you chip away at your own foundation. You trade your inner compass for a fleeting pat on the back, and the trap tightens. You're not enough, it whispers, and you believe it. Then comes mistake 2, clinging to the past. You replay old wounds, old failures, old loves, as if they define you. You carry yesterday's weight into today's fight, dragging ghosts that no longer serve you. The trap loves this. It chains you to moments that are dead, keeping you from the only place you can live, now. Mistake 3. Avoiding discomfort. You shy away from the hard conversation, the tough workout, the honest look in the mirror. You call it self-care, but it's cowardice in disguise. Growth lives in discomfort, but the trap convinces you to stay soft, stay safe. It's a lie. Every time you dodge the pain, you weaken your soul. Mistake 4. Mistaking solitude for loneliness. You feel the quiet and call it suffering. Solitude is a forge where strong men are made, but you've let the trap twist it into a punishment. You flee the silence, seeking noise, when the real work, the work of knowing yourself, happens in the stillness. Mistake 5. Leaning on distractions. The scroll, the bottle, the screen, the vice. You think they soothe you, but they're leeches, draining your clarity. The trap thrives on your numbness, keeping you from facing the void you're so desperate to fill. You're not escaping loneliness, you're feeding it. Mistake 6. Neglecting physical discipline. Your body is your temple, but you've let it crumble. You skip the gym, the run, the morning stretch, thinking it's just your body that suffers. Wrong. A weak frame breeds a weak mind. The trap convinces you it's not worth the effort, but every unmade sweat is a brick in its walls. Mistake 7. Ignoring purpose. You drift through days without a mission, without a why. The trap loves a man without direction. He's easy to steer. You fill the void with tasks, but tasks aren't purpose. Without a fire in your chest, you're just kindling for loneliness to burn. Mistake 8. Fearing rejection. You hold back your words, your truth, your heart, because you dread the sting of no. The trap whispers that rejection is failure, but it's lying. Rejection is a teacher sharpening your edges. By avoiding it, you dull your own blade. Mistake 9. Wallowing in self-pity. You tell yourself the world is unfair, that your pain is unique, that no one understands. The trap hands you this poison, and you drink it willingly. Self-pity is a slow death, eroding your will while you blame the stars. It's not your circumstances, it's your surrender. Mistake 10. Comparing yourself to others. You measure your life against their highlights, their wins, their polished facades. The trap thrives on this theft, stealing your focus from your own path. Comparison is a parasite, feeding on your contentment, leaving you hollow. Mistake 11. Suppressing emotions. You think strength is a stone face, a locked heart. The trap tells you to bury your anger, your grief, your joy. But Stoicism isn't numbness, it's mastery. By denying your emotions, you deny your humanity, and the trap grows stronger in the dark. Mistake 12. Isolation by pride. You push people away, convinced you don't need them. You call it independence, but it's ego in disguise. The trap loves a man who builds walls instead of bridges, cutting him off from the connections that could save him. Mistake 13. Chasing fleeting pleasures. The quick hit of dopamine, the fling, the binge, the endless scroll, feels like freedom. But it's a leash. The trap keeps you hooked on what fades, leaving you emptier than before. True fulfillment isn't found in moments. It's built in purpose. Mistake 14. Neglecting self-reflection. You avoid the mirror of your own mind. You don't ask the hard questions. Why am I here? What do I fear? What must I become? The trap thrives in your blindness, keeping you from the clarity that could set you free. Mistake 15. Surrendering to despair. This is the trap's final blow. You let the weight of loneliness convince you it's permanent, that you're broken, that hope is a lie. Despair is the trap's victory, the moment you stop fighting. But you are not your darkest hour. You are the man who rises from it. This is the machine you've been feeding. Every small choice, every quiet surrender, tightens its grip. It's not one mistake. It's a system, a web of habits and beliefs that you've mistaken for truth. The trap works because it's subtle, cloaking itself in comfort, routine, and excuses. It's the late-night scroll that feels harmless but steals your focus. It's the grudge you hold that feels righteous but poisons your peace. It's the fear you hide that feels safe but cages your potential. Look closer. See yourself in this. You've felt the weight of these mistakes, maybe not all at once, but in flashes, the moment you scrolled past your own dreams, the night you drank to forget, the day you stayed silent when you should have spoken. The trap doesn't shout, it whispers. It doesn't bind you with chains, it lulls you with lies. And the deepest lie is this, that you're powerless to escape. But you're not. The trap is real, but so is your power to dismantle it. The Stoics knew this. You cannot control the world, but you can control your response. Every mistake is a choice, and every choice is a chance to rebuild. The trap thrives in darkness, but awareness is your blade. Hold it up. See the enemy for what it is. You're not a prisoner. You're a warrior who's forgotten his strength. The question is, will you fight? In the quiet chambers of your mind, where loneliness whispers its lies, remember this. You are not the first man to face this storm. For millennia, warriors of the soul have stood against the same winds, self-doubt that erodes resolve, overthinking that paralyzes action, the victim mentality that chains you to fate, social pressures that bend your will, and distractions that scatter your focus. These are not modern inventions. They are eternal foes, confronted by the greatest minds in history. Stoicism, born in the markets of Athens and the palaces of Rome, offers not just survival, but mastery. Let us draw from these ancient fires to illuminate your path today. Consider Epictetus, the enslaved philosopher who owned nothing but his mind. Born into chains, he declared, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them." 2,000 years later, this cuts through the haze of modern self-doubt. You scroll through feeds of polished lives, feeling inadequate, questioning your worth. But the disturbance isn't in the images, it's in your interpretation. You mistake their highlights for your failures, feeding mistake 10, comparing yourself to others. Epictetus teaches us to reclaim perspective. In a world of filtered realities and endless notifications, self-doubt thrives when you let external illusions dictate your inner truth. Turn inward. Ask, is this view serving me? If not, discard it like a worn-out tool. This is not avoidance. It's precision, severing the roots of doubt before they strangle your spirit. Seneca, the statesman who navigated the treacherous courts of Nero, warned against the trap of overthinking. He wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Today, this echoes in the endless loops of rumination that keep lonely men awake at night, replaying conversations, forecasting rejections, dissecting every silence. This fuels mistake 2, clinging to the past, and mistake 14, neglecting self-reflection. Overthinking isn't wisdom. It's a thief, stealing your present with hypotheticals. Seneca, who faced exile and death with calm, urges us to act decisively. In our era of analysis paralysis, therapy sessions that circle without landing, apps that track moods but don't change them, remember his counsel. Translate it. Stop debating the storm, steer through it. When loneliness amplifies your thoughts into monsters, ground yourself in action. Write the message, make the call, take the step. Overthinking is the mind's way of pretending to fight while staying safe. True strength lies in doing. Marcus Aurelius, emperor and Stoic exemplar, embodied the battle against victim mentality. Amid wars and betrayals, he reminded himself in his meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This strikes at mistake 9, wallowing in self-pity, and mistake 15, surrendering to despair. Modern men, bombarded by narratives of injustice, economic pressures, failed relationships, societal expectations, often cast themselves as victims, blaming the world for their isolation. But Aurelius, ruling an empire while grappling with personal loss, knew victimhood is a choice. It's the easy path, absolving you of responsibility while deepening the void. In today's victim culture, where social media amplifies grievances and echo chambers validate complaints, his wisdom demands translation. Own your responses. Loneliness isn't imposed, it's amplified by your surrender. When you feel the world has conspired against you, pause. What can you control? Your effort, your attitude, your next move. This shifts you from passive sufferer to active architect, turning despair into fuel. Nietzsche, the fierce critic of complacency, extends this Stoic thread into raw power. He proclaimed, "He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow." This confronts mistake 7, ignoring purpose and the distractions that plague us. In a digital age of infinite scrolls and dopamine hits, men lose themselves in superficial pursuits, binge-watching, gaming marathons, endless swiping, mistaking busyness for meaning. Nietzsche, who wrestled with illness and isolation, saw purpose as the antidote to nihilism. Translate his fire. Your loneliness isn't from lack of company, it's from lack of mission. Social pressures push you toward conformity, the job for status, the relationships for show, but these are hollow. Distractions, like mistake 5, are the modern sirens, luring you from your true north. Find your why, a cause, a craft, a calling, and watch distractions lose their grip. Nietzsche's warrior spirit reminds us, purpose isn't found, it's forged in the furnace of struggle. Sun Tzu, the ancient strategist from the art of war, adds tactical depth. He advised, "He who knows when he can fight and when he cannot will be victorious." This wisdom pierces mistake 3, avoiding discomfort, and mistake 8, fearing rejection. In modern life, men evade hard truths, the uncomfortable conversation, the risk of vulnerability, under the guise of strategy. But Sun Tzu, master of battles, knew avoidance is defeat deferred. Today, social pressures amplify this. The fear of judgment in group chats, the hesitation to approach in a hyper-connected yet isolated world. Rejection stings, but fearing it more keeps you trapped. Translate. Treat discomfort as terrain to conquer. When loneliness tempts you to isolate, mistake 12, by pride, recognize it as a feint. Engage wisely. Build alliances not from need, but from strength. Sun Tzu's precision teaches that victory comes from facing fears, not fleeing them. These masters converge on a timeless truth. Loneliness is not fate, it's a forge. Epictetus frees your perceptions. Seneca cuts through illusions. Aurelius claims your power. Nietzsche ignites your purpose. Sun Tzu sharpens your strategy. They address mistake 4, mistaking solitude for loneliness, by reframing alone time as sacred ground. In our noisy era, solitude is rare, yet essential, a space to confront mistake 11, suppressing emotions. Feel deeply, but act wisely, as Aurelius did in his tent amid legions. Mistake 6, neglecting physical discipline, echoes Seneca's call to treat the body as a vessel for the mind. A disciplined frame withstands emotional tempests. Mistake 13, chasing fleeting pleasures, is Nietzsche's last man. Content with comfort, devoid of greatness. Pursue depth over delight. This history isn't relic, it's arsenal. Modern struggles, the ping of notifications pulling at your focus, the weight of unseen expectations bending your back, are ancient battles in new armor. The Stoics and their kin didn't promise ease, they promised resilience. They lived it, Epictetus in chains, Seneca in exile, Aurelius on the frontier, Nietzsche in solitude, Sun Tzu in war. You, too, can wield this wisdom. When self-doubt creeps, invoke Epictetus. When overthinking binds, heed Seneca. Against victimhood, stand with Aurelius. For purpose, burn with Nietzsche. In strategy, align with Sun Tzu. You are part of this lineage, not a lonely wanderer, but a philosopher in action. The past anchors you. The present demands you rise. Waste no more time in shadows. Step into the light of what you can become. The wisdom endures because the human soul does. Claim it. Live it. Become unbreakable. You are part of this lineage, not a lonely wanderer, but a philosopher in action. The past anchors you. The present demands you rise. Waste no more time in shadows. Step into the light of what you were meant to be. The wisdom endures because the human soul does. Claim it. Live it. Become unbreakable. But how does this ancient fire burn in the glow of your smartphone screen? Picture this. It's 3 a.m. The city hums faintly outside your window, and your phone lights up like a false dawn. You reach for it, not because you're awake, but because you're avoiding the weight of your own thoughts. This is the modern mirror of Epictetus chains, not iron shackles, but the invisible pull of notifications that distort your view of reality. You tell yourself it's just a quick check, but hours vanish into the scroll, chasing shadows of other lives. They post their victories, the promotion, the vacation, the perfect partner, and you feel the sting of comparison, mistake 10 alive and breathing. It feels like a quiet theft, your contentment slipping away pixel by pixel, leaving you hollow in the blue light. They call it connection, these endless feeds, but it's a trap of external validation, mistake 1 in high definition. You craft your profile, filter your photos, wait for the likes to affirm your existence. In the office break room, you overhear colleagues boasting about their weekends, and you nod along, hiding the envy that brews like cheap coffee in your gut. It feels like standing on quicksand. The more you seek approval, the deeper you sink, your self-worth outsourced to strangers' thumbs. Seneca would shake his head at this overthinking, the mental loops you run. What if they don't respond? What if I'm not enough? You replay texts from a date gone cold, clinging to the past like a lifeline, mistake 2 wrapping around your throat. The silence of an unread message echoes louder than any storm, amplifying your isolation in a hyper-connected world. Drive through rush hour, the commute a battlefield of honks and headlights. You grip the wheel, burnout creeping in like exhaust fumes. Workplace demands pile up, emails at midnight, meetings that drain your soul, and you avoid the discomfort, mistake 3, by zoning out with podcasts or playlists. It feels like numbness settling in, a fog over your ambitions. They push through the day on autopilot, ignoring the body's signals, the ache in your back from slouched hours, the skipped meals for productivity. Neglecting physical discipline, mistake 6, turns your frame into a weary vessel, betraying the mind it carries. You promise yourself a gym session tomorrow, but tomorrow becomes never, the trap whispering that rest is enough. But it's not rest, it's surrender, your energy leaking into the void. In the quiet of your apartment, solitude hits. You mistake it for loneliness, mistake 4, pacing the room like a caged animal. The walls close in, and you reach for distractions, binge-watching shows that numb the ache, mistake 5 pulsing with every episode. It feels like drowning in shallow water, the screen a false savior pulling you under. They chase fleeting pleasures, mistake 13, swiping right on apps for instant highs, only to wake to the crash of emptiness. A toxic relationship lingers in your contacts, pride isolating you further, mistake 12 sealing the door. You tell yourself you're strong alone, but it's ego's lie, cutting off the bridges that could lead to real bonds. Silent envy brews at family gatherings or scrolling through friends' milestones. You compare your stalled career to their climbs, your empty evenings to their filled calendars. It feels like a shadow following you. Mistake 10 again, stealing your focus from your own path. Over drinks with buddies, self-pity slips in. Mistake 9 disguised as venting. Life's just harder for me. They nod, but inside, you're poisoning your own well, blaming circumstances while ignoring purpose. Mistake 7 yawning wide. Without a mission, days blur into routine. Wake, work, sleep, the trap convincing you this is all there is. Fear of rejection paralyzes the bold move, the promotion you don't ask for, the conversation you don't start at the bar. Mistake 8 feels like a knot in your chest, the what if heavier than any no. You suppress the frustration. Mistake 11 burying emotions under a stoic facade that's really just avoidance. It builds like pressure in a fault line, cracking in unexpected outbursts or quiet breakdowns. They scroll past opportunities, fearing the sting, while the trap laughs in the background. Neglecting self-reflection, mistake 14, you avoid the journal, the meditation app gathering dust. Evenings end in autopilot, no hard questions asked. What do I truly want? What fears hold me back? It feels like driving blindfolded, the crash inevitable. And when despair hits, after a layoff, a breakup, a night too silent, mistake 15 tempts surrender. You lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, convinced this is permanent. It feels like sinking into quicksand, every struggle pulling you deeper. But here's the cinematic turn. Imagine flipping the script. You wake at dawn, not to a phone's glow, but to the sun's real light. Physical discipline kicks in, a run through empty streets, sweat forging resilience. Discomfort becomes your ally. You lean into the hard talk at work, rejection a mere lesson. Solitude transforms. An evening alone, not scrolling, but reading Aurelius, reflecting deeply. Purpose ignites, a side project, a volunteer shift, turning drift into direction. You delete the apps that distract, chase meaning over pleasure. Emotions flow, mastered not muffled. Anger channeled into drive, grief into growth. Pride yields to connection. You reach out, building bonds from strength. Self-pity dissolves in gratitude lists. Comparisons fade as you celebrate your path. The past releases its grip. You live now, fully. They watch from afar, still trapped. But you're free. The modern world throws its chaos. Texts ignored, commutes endless, envy silent. But you stand firm, philosopher in the fray. It feels like emerging from fog into clarity, the weight lifting, the soul expanding. This is Stoicism alive, not in marble halls, but in your heartbeat, your choices, your unbreakable will. The mirror reflects not just your face, but your potential. See it, live it, rise. You've seen the trap, its subtle chains forged from your own choices. You've felt its weight in the 3 a.m. glow of your phone, the silent envy of scrolling, the burnout of endless commutes. The enemy is clear. 15 fatal mistakes that feed loneliness, each a brick in the prison you've built. But you are no prisoner. You are a warrior, and the Stoic way is your arsenal. These are not suggestions. They are weapons, forged in the fire of ancient wisdom, sharpened for the modern battlefield. Wield them. Cut through the illusions. Become unbreakable. Weapon 1. Anchor your worth within. Seeking external validation is a surrender to the crowd. You are not their likes, their nods, their fleeting applause. Define your value by your actions, your principles, your resolve. When the world's approval tempts you, ask, who am I when no one watches? That man is your truth. Stand in it. Weapon 2. Release the past. Yesterday's failures are ghosts, not chains. Clinging to them steals your present. Write the regret down, burn it in your mind's fire, and let it go. Each day is a new battlefield. Fight here, now unburdened. The past cannot hold you unless you carry it. Weapon 3. Embrace discomfort. Pain is your teacher, not your enemy. The hard conversation, the early morning run, the honest mirror, these forge strength. Fleeing discomfort is fleeing growth. When you feel the urge to avoid, lean in. Act. Every sting sharpens your edge. Weapon 4. Master solitude. Loneliness is a shadow. Solitude is a fortress. Enter the quiet deliberately. Sit with your thoughts, a pen, a book. Ask what your soul demands. In silence, you find clarity. Make solitude your sanctuary, not your sentence. Weapon 5. Slay distractions. The scroll, the binge, the vice. They are thieves masquerading as comfort. Cut them off. Set your phone down. Turn the screen off. Replace mindless consumption with deliberate creation. A single hour of focus is worth a day of noise. Guard your attention like a sentinel. Weapon 6. Forge your body. A weak frame betrays a weak mind. Lift, run, sweat. Discipline your body to discipline your soul. When exhaustion tempts you to skip, move anyway. Your strength is your foundation. Build it daily, brick by brick. Weapon 7. Claim your purpose. A man without a mission drifts. Find your why. A craft, a cause, a legacy. It doesn't need to be grand. It needs to be yours. Write it down. Let it guide every choice. Purpose is your compass through the storm. Weapon 8. Reframe rejection. Rejection is not failure. It's feedback. The no you fear is a map to your growth. Speak your truth. Ask the question. Take the risk. When rejection lands, dissect it. Learn. Move forward. It's a wound only if you let it fester. Weapon 9. Crush self-pity. Pity is poison, disguised as comfort. The world owes you nothing. Replace why me with what now. List 3 things you're grateful for every day. Gratitude is your shield. Wield it to block despair's arrows. Weapon 10. Reject comparison. Others' lives are not your measure. Their wins, their posts, their polished facades, their noise, not truth. Focus on your path. Celebrate your steps, not their sprints. Your race is yours alone. Run it fiercely. Weapon 11. Master your emotions. Feelings are not commands, they're signals. Anger, grief, fear, let them speak, but don't let them rule. Name the emotion, trace its source, choose your response. Stoicism isn't numbness, it's clarity through the storm. Act, don't react. Weapon 12. Build bridges, not walls. Pride isolates, humility connects. Reach out, not from need, but from strength. A call, a coffee, a shared struggle. These are not weaknesses but victories. You are not an island. Forge alliances with those who lift your soul. Weapon 13. Seek meaning over pleasure. Fleeting highs, the swipe, the drink, the scroll are traps in disguise. Pursue what endures, a skill mastered, a bond deepened, a purpose served. Pleasure fades, meaning builds. Choose what lasts. Weapon 14. Reflect relentlessly. Face your inner mirror. Ask, what do I fear? What do I want? What must I become? Journal, meditate, interrogate your soul. Reflection is your blade, cutting through illusions to reveal truth. A man who knows himself is unstoppable. Weapon 15. Defy despair. Despair is the trap's final lie, whispering that you're broken, that hope is lost. It's a shadow, not a truth. Rise each morning as if it's a battle. Take one step, then another. Endurance is your rebellion. You are not your darkest hour. You are the dawn that follows. These weapons are not theories. They are steel in your hands. Picture yourself now. You wake before dawn, not to a phone's glow, but to purpose. You lace your shoes, move your body, feel the strength return. You sit in solitude, not fleeing, but building, writing your mission, mapping your day. The notification pings, but you ignore it, your attention a fortress. You speak your truth at work, unafraid of the no, knowing it's a lesson, not a verdict. You call a friend, not for validation, but for connection, breaking pride's grip. When envy creeps, you list your blessings. When despair knocks, you answer with action. This is the Stoic response, a disciplined assault on the trap. Each mistake you've made, seeking validation, clinging to the past, avoiding discomfort, is a choice you can unmake. The world will not pause for you. The notifications will keep coming, the pressures will mount, the nights will stretch long. But you are not their victim. You are their commander. Every choice is a swing of your blade. Every disciplined act is a breach in the trap's walls. The Stoics knew this war. Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire, wrote to himself, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Seneca, facing exile, declared, "You must change the way you live if you are to live." Epictetus, in chains, taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Their words are your orders. Execute them. You cannot control the world's chaos, but you can control your response. You cannot silence loneliness, but you can forge meaning from its silence. Discipline is your weapon. Clarity is your shield. Purpose is your banner. Wield them with precision. Cut through the illusions, the scroll, the pity, the fear, and build your inner citadel. The trap thrives in your surrender. Starve it with your defiance. Take the first step now. Turn off the screen. Write one truth about yourself. Move your body. Choose one mistake to slay today. This is not inspiration. This is truth. You are not a wanderer lost in loneliness. You are a warrior armed with wisdom. Fight. Rise. Become. Stay connected, and do not forget to subscribe to this channel. You are not a wanderer lost in loneliness. You are a warrior armed with wisdom. Fight. Rise. Become. The Stoic weapons, discipline, clarity, purpose, are now in your hands, forged to cut through the trap of loneliness. But this is not just a battle against 15 fatal mistakes. It's a war for something greater, your soul's freedom, your life's meaning, your place in the eternal dance of existence. Step back now. See the larger canvas. This is not about escaping pain. It's about awakening to purpose. This is the philosophical turn, from mindset to meaning, from struggle to stillness. Loneliness, at its core, is a question. Who are you when the world falls silent? The trap, seeking validation, clinging to the past, chasing distractions, thrives because it keeps you from answering. You've spent years running from that question, filling the void with noise, but the Stoics knew better. Marcus Aurelius, staring into the Roman night, wrote, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good. Your identity is not your job, your followers, your failures. It's the fire in your chest, the choices you make when no one watches. Stop defining yourself by what the world reflects back. You are not the mirror. You are the light." This shift is not about confidence or conquest. The world doesn't need another man shouting his worth or chasing fleeting winds. It needs men who are awake, conscious of their power, clear in their purpose. Mistake 11 taught you to master emotions, not suppress them. Feel the weight of loneliness, but don't let it define you. It's a signal, not a sentence. Like a star in the void, it points you to your own radiance. When you stop fleeing it, mistake 4, solitude becomes your forge, shaping a man who stands whole, alone or among others. Consider mortality, the Stoics' ultimate teacher. Seneca reminded us, life is of a limited span, don't waste it on what doesn't matter. Every scroll through distraction, every moment of self-pity, every surrender to despair, mistakes 5, 9, 15, is a theft from your finite days. Zoom out. You are a fleeting spark in the cosmos, yet your choices ripple through eternity. Each disciplined act, each rejection faced, each purpose pursued builds a legacy, not for fame, but for meaning. You are not here to be liked. You are here to live fully, to carve truth from chaos. Destiny is not a script handed to you. It's a path you cut with your own hands. Mistake 7, ignoring purpose, keeps you adrift, but the Stoic response is to claim your mission. Nietzsche's why is not a vague dream. It's a daily choice to act with intention. Whether it's teaching a child, building a craft, or serving a cause, your purpose anchors you against the storm. You don't need to conquer the world. You need to conquer the moment. Every step toward meaning, a morning run, a hard conversation, a reflective pause, is a defiance of the trap, a declaration of your freedom. Freedom, in the Stoic sense, is not escape from struggle. It's mastery of your inner citadel. Epictetus taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." The trap's illusions, validation, comparison, fleeting pleasures, bind you only as long as you let them. Break free by wielding the weapons. Discipline over distraction, gratitude over pity, action over fear. This is not a one-time victory, but a daily practice. Freedom is not the absence of loneliness. It's the courage to face it, to walk through it, to find meaning on the other side. Picture yourself now, standing at the edge of a vast plain. The wind carries the echoes of your past mistakes, but they no longer hold you. Ahead lies your destiny, not as a distant dream, but as the next choice you make. You are not just a man fighting loneliness. You are a soul crafting its own eternity. The Stoics saw this clearly. Life is not about avoiding pain, but embracing it as raw material. Every mistake you've made, every moment you've faltered, is a lesson, not a verdict. You are not broken, you are becoming. This is the awakening, not a fleeting rush of inspiration, but a quiet clarity that settles in your bones. The world will keep spinning, phones will ping, pressures will mount, nights will stretch long, but you are no longer its prisoner. You are its philosopher, its warrior, its architect. Choose your weapons, forge your meaning, live your truth. In this stillness, truth sinks in. Loneliness is not your enemy, it's your invitation. It calls you to know yourself, to build yourself, to become yourself. The trap is real, but so is your power to dismantle it. Step forward. The universe is watching, not to judge, but to witness what you will make of this fleeting, precious life. Rise. Be whole. Be free. The universe is watching, not to judge, but to witness what you will make of this fleeting, precious life. Rise. Be whole. Be free. You've seen the trap, 15 fatal mistakes that weave the chains of loneliness, each a quiet surrender to illusion. You felt their weight in the glow of 3 a.m. screens, in the ache of silent envy, in the drift of purposeless days. You've armed yourself with Stoic weapons, discipline, clarity, purpose, forged from the wisdom of Epictetus, Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, Nietzsche, and Sun Tzu. You've glimpsed the larger truth. Your struggle is not just against loneliness, but for meaning, for freedom, for the soul you are meant to become. Now, in this final moment, it's time to seal your resolve. This is not advice. This is your oath, a vow carved in the stone of your will, a promise to carry into the silence of your battles. I swear to master myself, not the world. The world will rage, its notifications will ping, its pressures will pile, its rejections will sting, but I will not bend. I choose the inner citadel over the outer chaos. When the trap whispers for validation, I will anchor my worth within. No like, no nod, no fleeting praise will define me. My value is in my actions, my principles, my unrelenting pursuit of truth. I am enough. I vow to release the past. Regrets and ghosts have no claim on me. I will not carry yesterday's weight into today's fight. Each dawn is a new battlefield, and I will meet it unburdened, my eyes fixed on the now. The past is a shadow. I walk in the light. I pledge to embrace discomfort. Pain is my forge, not my prison. The hard conversation, the early sweat, the honest mirror, these are my teachers. When the urge to flee rises, I will lean in. I will act, not avoid. Every sting sharpens my soul. I commit to mastering solitude. I will not mistake it for loneliness. In the quiet, I will find my strength, my clarity, my fire. Solitude is my sanctuary, where I forge the man I am meant to be. I will sit with my thoughts, ask the hard questions, and listen to the answers. I swear to slay distractions. The scroll, the binge, the vice, they are thieves, and I will not let them steal my focus. I will guard my attention like a sentinel, choosing creation over consumption, purpose over noise. 1 hour of clarity outweighs a day of escape. I vow to forge my body. My frame is my foundation, and I will build it strong. Through sweat, through discipline, through relentless effort, I will honor the vessel that carries my mind. No excuse will sway me. My strength is my rebellion. I pledge to claim my purpose. I am not a drifter. I am a builder. I will find my why, a craft, a cause, a legacy, and let it guide every step. Purpose is my compass, steady through the storm. I will live for what matters, not what shines. I swear to reframe rejection. It is not my verdict. It is my teacher. I will speak my truth, take the risk, face the no. Each rejection is a map, not a wall. I will learn, adapt, and move forward, my blade sharper with every cut. I vow to crush self-pity. The world owes me nothing, and I will demand nothing but my own effort. When despair whispers, I will answer with gratitude. I will list my blessings, act on my strength, and silence the poison of why me. My power is in my response. I commit to rejecting comparison. Others' lives are not my measure. Their wins, their posts, their facades, they are noise, not truth. I will run my race, celebrate my steps, and keep my eyes on my path. My journey is mine alone, and I will honor it. I pledge to master my emotions. They are signals, not chains. I will feel deeply, anger, grief, joy, but I will not let them rule. I will name them, trace them, choose my response. Stoicism is my clarity, not my cage. I act, not react. I swear to build bridges, not walls. Pride will not isolate me. I will reach out, not from need, but from strength. I will forge connections that lift my soul, not my ego. I am not an island. I am a warrior who chooses his allies wisely. I vow to seek meaning over pleasure. Fleeting highs are traps. I will chase what endures. A skill mastered, a bond deepened, a purpose served. These are my treasures. I will build a life that lasts, not one that fades with the dawn. I commit to relentless reflection. I will face my inner mirror, ask the hard questions. What do I fear? What do I want? What must I become? My journal, my silence, my soul. These are my blades, cutting through illusion to reveal truth. I will know myself. I swear to defy despair. It is a lie, not my destiny. When the weight feels unbearable, I will take one step, then another. Endurance is my rebellion. I am not my darkest hour. I am the dawn that rises after. I will fight always. This is my oath, spoken not to the world, but to myself. It is not a wish. It is a vow, etched in the marrow of my being. I am not a victim of loneliness. I am its master. I am not a wanderer lost in the storm. I am the storm's commander. Every choice is my weapon. Every day my battlefield. Every moment my chance to rise. I will not chase peace. I will forge it. I will not seek freedom. I will claim it. I will master the storm by mastering myself. Picture yourself now, standing tall in the quiet of your own soul. The world hums with chaos, phones buzzing, pressures mounting, doubts creeping, but you are unshaken. You are the philosopher who acts, the warrior who endures, the soul who creates. This oath is your creed, your silent mantra, echoing in the stillness when the noise fades. Repeat it in your heart when the trap whispers. I choose awareness over comfort. I choose truth over illusion. I choose myself. The universe watches, not to judge, but to witness. Your life is your canvas. Your choice is your brush. Paint boldly. Live fiercely. Be whole. This is not the end. It is the beginning. Step forward. The world waits for the man you will become. If this message spoke to you, follow for clarity, not comfort. And comment below, *, I choose awareness. Because awareness is the first weapon of strength.